Recording.
Hello and welcome to a new episode of the One Hotspur YouTube channel. Today I am joined by Louis and today we are going to be discussing Tottenham's new managerial targets and whether we should appoint them or not. And we're using tier list for this and this will be controlled by Louis. I'll hand you over.
So the managers we got on the screen are Eddie Howe, Flick, the Bayern Munich manager, Maurizio Sarri, Graham Potter, Roberto Martinez, Gareth Southgate, Allegri, the Juventus manager, former Tottenham boy Scott Parker, and Brendan Rodgers. And the tier makers are Bill Nicholson, which is aka the God tier, good. Ben Davis is the third tier, mid-table, and Clinton SG is worst tier. So we're going to start off with Eddie Howe. So Sam, what do you think about Eddie Howe? To be honest, I think I'd put him in Ben Davis or mid-table because he is championship quality, to be honest.
He's not going to be the one that I look at, and I look at the players there. You've got Allegri, you've got Flick, even Rodgers or maybe Martinez, and I look at them and I think they are very good managers. And then I look at Eddie Howe and I don't think that he is the man that's going to deliver any trophies to try and end this drought. You know, I don't even think he'll keep up the Audi Cup record, you know. Yeah, I just cannot. I know what you mean. I cannot see it. I know that he's done well at Bournemouth and all that, but I get that he wasn't spending much. But ideally, he'll be allowed to spend by Daniel Levy, but I just cannot see Daniel Levy backing this boss. So therefore, I think, you know, the Bournemouth board didn't really give him much to spend. I mean, I know when you look at the team, Tottenham are obviously probably a better team than Bournemouth. You'd compare them, you'd think that Ndombele is probably better than Steve Cook, for example. And you know, back when there's in the Premier League, there's so many more comparisons that you could do. But I don't see him being the manager to bring us forward. So I'll put him in the mid-table category.
Yeah.
I know
so
people say,
to be fair, Sam, he did get relegated with Bournemouth and got the sack, and then he got the sack before the season started. But
he didn't actually get sacked. He decided to leave. He didn't want to stay at Bournemouth.
Okay, so we'll put him in the mid-table. So next one is, sorry if any Germans come at me and abuse me for my pronunciation, Hansi Flick.
That's
that right?
Hansi
Flick. So he is the Bayern Munich manager, soon to be the Germany manager. So what are your thoughts on him?
I've said it. The only successful appointment is him, Ten Hag, or Nagelsmann. And obviously Ten Hag and Nagelsmann aren't going to be available. I mean, perhaps I could add Allegri into that because they've all won stuff. I don't want these mid-table managers that, you know, that get relegated. I don't even care if they put out a bunch of 12-year-olds from the, you know, from like League Two. I don't care if they've been relegated from the Premier League with that. You know, I still think we shouldn't be trying to go for managers of that level. So I think Flick is a manager that if he wants to come, you have to get it done before the Liverpool or the Man City job. I mean, I doubt the City job will appear on the ones that you could get soon, but I just think you have to try and get there quickly. So I'd definitely put him in the Bill Nicholson category.
Yeah, Bill Nicholson. That is so. Hansi Flick is the first person in our God tier. So the next one is Maurizio Sarri, former Chelsea manager, and now I don't know what club he's at, to be honest, at the moment, but he was Chelsea manager. He's not a club.
He was previously at Juventus, but since then he has left Juventus, or what we believe is to be sacked after his team left.
Sam, I'd put him in the Ben Davis tier because he is the reason. He's an okay manager because he obviously got the sack from Chelsea, and
he wasn't sacked. He wanted to join Juventus.
Actually, he left to join Juventus. Actually,
he sacked by Juventus. That's what it happened.
Yeah. So to be honest, I just put him mid-table. No, Ben Davis because he's not really.
I would put him in Clinton and Jai. I know you were going to laugh at me for that, but I just, people go on about Sarri ball and all that, and you look at with Juventus, he had some top quality players. I'm not joking. His business is just atrocious. He's got rid of some really good players, and he's done nothing about it.
Yeah.
I do not like Maurizio Sarri one bit. I would rather have some other manager from the French fifth tier or something. Well, maybe not that, but I just do not want Sarri. I think he's the worst manager on this list for what I think. So you put him in Ben Davies. I put him in Peter and Jai. So I think we should probably go in between and put him in the mid-table.
Mid-table, he is. In he goes. The next one is Brighton Hove Albion manager Graham Potter. Big Graham. So, what are your thoughts on him? To be honest, I don't think he'd get the job because Brighton are they're kind of staying up, trying to stay up, trying to get mid-table. But I don't think he'd do pretty well because he's not kind of like suited for our club. You know what I mean?
I don't rate Potter either. I get a lot of people saying to me, especially on my account, that we should definitely get Graham Potter. Potter's the man. Just take a minute to think about what Graham Potter's done at Brighton, apart from keep them up. Brighton have good players. They should be staying up every season. I actually think Brighton are a good team. I think they should be around the 14th, 15th mark. They've done it so many times now. They've stayed up for what? I don't know. They've stayed up for quite a few seasons now, since their promotion. It's time that they started moving forward. They've been at a level now where they've stayed at that level for so long. It's time for a bit more ambition to move forward. Graham Potter doesn't offer ambition. That's not what Tottenham need. We need an ambitious manager who's going to come in and say, this season, we're going to compete for the Champions League places. This season, we're going to try and win the FA Cup. This season, we're going to try and win the Premier League. Because apart from Mourinho, apart from Mourinho, I don't think we've had a manager. Maybe there's a few, but I don't think we've actually had a manager that feels that we can win the Premier League. I mean, everyone wants to win the Premier League, but I just don't think that there's a single manager who believes that we can win the Premier League, apart from Mourinho. And you talk about that winning mentality. I don't think that he offers a winning mentality. I'm going to have to put him in mid-table because that's what Brighton are.
I agree. Mid-table team.
He's basic. He's basic average. That's what he is. He is average at its best. So I think
Graham Potter into mid-table you go. So next one is former Everton manager, Wigan manager, and I think some other club manager. Roberto.
Man City, or am I wrong?
I'm not sure. No, that was Roberto Mancini.
Oh, that's the one. Right.
Roberto Martinez. I think it was Spain as well. He did, or Italy. So, to be honest, I put him in the Ben Davies because I know he has done some good stuff. Obviously, he won the FA Cup with Wigan back in 2013, knocked Man City out and beat them in the final. And I don't think he'd do pretty well, to be honest.
I feel like he's an okay manager. I think you look at the team that he's obviously currently managing. I think it's Belgium, if I'm correct.
No, yeah, it's Belgium.
Belgium are the highest ranked team in Europe. And he's not really done enough to be considered, but the players they've got, they should be winning the World Cup. When they were in the last World Cup, they had an informed Hazard. And at that stage, Hazard was Hazard. How people know him. You've got De Bruyne. De Bruyne is just De Bruyne, he doesn't really have off games or off seasons. They had Lukaku. They had, a few others. They had obviously Toby Alderweireld, Jan Vertonghen, Courtois. They've got these very good players, and yet he was only able to get third place. So I think Ben Davies is the only category we can put him in. He's not going into the good category. you know, just because you play for a good just because you manage a good country doesn't suddenly make you an incredible manager. Because if anything, they've moved backwards under him, or they've certainly not reached the heights that you'd expect. So Ben Davies.
Yeah, Ben Davies. That is it. I agree. Next one is the waistcoat man, Gareth Southgate. To be fair, if this happened, I'll actually be quite happy because, as being an England fan, having your own nation manager managing your club should be really cool.
Well,
Would you agree?
Again, I don't see him to be brilliant, but you have to remember what has he achieved at England. Apart from a few dodgy lineups, he has taken us into
And
he has
losing a
taken us
penalty
into a world.
and missing a penalty when he was in the playing days. He missed a penalty.
Yeah, I mean, he has obviously taken England into a World Cup semi-final. We won't talk about what happened in that, but at least he got us there, which is something that we rarely do. So I definitely think that he's a decent manager. But again, is he going to win trophies at Tottenham?
Yeah.
Probably not. But if Mourinho can't, then I don't think many managers can. So I'm going to put him in the Ben Davies category again, so we can join another international manager in that.
Okay. So the next one is Algeri, who is the Juventus manager. What do you think on this?
Well, he used to be the Juventus manager. I think it's now Andrea Pirlo.
Yeah, used to be.
Definitely. I don't know. Was he sacked? I can't actually remember.
I can't remember
when it happened.
I don't think he was.
He seems like a very, very good manager, and he's not like a short-term solution. He seems like one that I could sit here in 5 years filming the same video saying, what an excellent era we've had under Allegri. I could definitely see Allegri being a long-term option. I think he has to go in good. I don't think he's at the category yet where we compete for Champions Leagues, which I think Hansi Flick may offer a bit more of. I'm not saying that we'll win the Champions League year in, year out, but he's done it before. I know Mourinho has, and he didn't deliver, but you have to get there first. And I think
so
the players
good
we need a manager. We need a manager who the players look at and think, if I stay, I could win stuff. And I think that only really him and Hansi Flick seem to be willing to actually try and keep these players, because if I was a player, I wouldn't really be excited by seeing Eddie Howe. I wouldn't be excited to see Graham Potter or Sarri, or even the two in the Ben Davies category. It wouldn't excite me to play under them. So I think Allegri goes in the good.
Okay, yeah, in the good he goes. He's the first person to go into the good one. Next one is former Tottenham Hotspur player Scotty Parker, number 8, centre mid goat. To be honest, I'd love this to go through.
I know. I don't get what the massive uproar is for him. Seriously, I don't. I think if he's not mid-table, he's Clinton and Jai. Look, you think about the players Fulham have. Fulham have some very good players. They have Lookman. They've got Anderson. Obviously, we're linked with Anderson. They've got They've got. I actually think he's quite decent. That Bobby Decordova-Reid. They've got Mitrovic. They've got Caballero.
Right.
They've got Areola in the goal. They've got
Loftus-Cheek.
Madja, they've got Loftus-Cheek, yes, like you said. Mitrovic even. They have players that should be staying up.
They have Michael Hector as well. Some other good players.
Yeah.
And they have a good keeper in Arbeloa.
He hasn't really impressed me. I think even Robinson at their fullback position, he's really good too. These sorts of players are all very good, but they just can't play as a team under him. So I have to put him in Clinton and Jai, I don't get the massive uproar,
Okay, Clinton and Jai.
We have to go in the middle for what you think. So where was you going to put him?
I was going to put him in Ben Davis, even though I think it'd be a good appointment.
So,
So I'm just going to
I
move
think
him
we
up
should
to.
put him in mid-table because then
Yeah, I'm
that
just going
way
to move him up to mid-table. So
it's
the last
interesting.
one is Brendan Rodgers, been at thousands of clubs. He's currently at Leicester City, and Tottenham are doing whatever they can to persuade him to join. So I think he'd go mid-table, to be honest.
No. Listen, he walked into Leicester, and now they're people are it's almost certainly a top 4 finish for him. Still alive in the FA Cup.
Oh yeah, true.
He's a good manager.
They are in the final. I think
He's
actually now
not
scrap
as
that.
good. He's not as good as Allegri. He's definitely not as good as Allegri. But what
I think
he
he'd go
is
in.
someone who would inspire the players. And, I'd be a lot more excited to see Brendan Rodgers, teaching me how to play football if I was a player in the training ground. I'd much rather have Brendan Rodgers standing there coaching than I would Sarri. Well, I mean, Sarri probably wouldn't last long. He'd probably need to go out for a cigarette break. But I think you probably look at the other mid-table options for the ones that can actually stay focused in coaching. But
Right. So where do you want to put him? Mid-table
I
or Ben
think
Davis?
you went Ben Davies, I went good. So I think probably upper Ben Davies, perhaps.
Yeah, okay. So that is the end of the video. But Brendan Rodgers was our last one. So thank you very much for watching this video, and like and subscribe, and come on, you Spurs.
Have you